Hey, YouTube. I'm Arlett Hartie, blogger and joy chaser at chasing-joy.com. I forgot my little intro spill. It's been so long since I've been on here. I think I did it wrong. We'll do it again. Hi, I'm Arlett Hartie, blogger and joy strategist at chasing-joy.com. Which I don't even know if that's accurate anymore. It's been a long time since I blogged, but nevertheless, that's me. I wanted to come live really quickly because I had an idea. I miss doing content, and I'm so busy right these days with the kids and work. Um, and I was in the shower. I'm about to go to bed, and I had an idea. I get my best ideas in the shower, so I said, let me just act on it now. So I think what I want to do is start doing a quick live video, super short. I'm long-winded, so it won't be short enough to actually be a YouTube short, but short video, just giving you guys like a weekly update, the best, the worst, basically the good, the bad, the ugly of the week, and the best moments of the week. For a couple reasons. One, I just miss doing content, and two, this community here is so important to me. And all those years when I was TTCing and sharing about Chasing Joy events and joining the Chasing Joy show, you all were so supportive. And now that I am on the other side of that and had success with IVF and have my two big bundles of joy, they're getting big now. I don't want to just like disappear, and not that anybody who goes on social media for a period of time and for community and support owes anybody anything after that, but I know how it feels when you like watch somebody and connect to somebody online, and then especially like in the TTC area or pregnancy videos or whatever family vlog type stuff, and then they go offline. Hi Parker 432. Okay, I'm not on the Trump train, so I can't co-sign that, Geraldo. But anyway, I know how it is to be watching someone in social media, and then when their children come along, they go away, and you're like, oh, dang, whatever happened to them? And how are their kids doing? Okay, some trolls in the chat. So um, anyway, I'm gonna share quickly the good, the bad, the ugly, the best. So the good things that have happened this week are I did a meal prep, not really a meal prep, a meal delivery service where it's like cooked like more healthy food, not like preservatives. So we have eaten out a lot less this week, and we've eaten more vegetables this week than we have in a long time. So that I feel really good about, because I feel, hey Marcine, I feel bad, that the kids eat so much processed stuff sometimes. But, we all do the best we can. So that has been a really good thing this week. And another good thing is baby sister is getting better with the potty training. I am not doing great with it. I have not been as consistent with her at home. But she's a really good at daycare. This morning she woke up dry, which was great. She is still a new 2-year-old. She is not even 2.5, so I'm just pleased that we got the ball rolling with the potty train. So that's for good things this week. Um, Bad things this week. Well, time management is still a struggle. Like it's after 1 and I'm still up. Um, it's like go, go, go. We get up, we get out the house quickly in the morning. They go to school, daycare, I go to work, I pick them up, and now baby joy chasers in first grade, and like the homework is real. So we come home, we do the homework, and he still needs like, monitoring through the homework. So I can't really multitask through that. So we do the homework, and sister is like crazy, wanting attention, climbing. So I'm like having to like tell her no so we can focus on this homework, which that's hard. And then we get the homework done, and I gotta cook dinner, eat dinner. By the time I do that, it's time for them to go to bed, which is now later than I would like because I'm later getting the dinner. And so by the time they get, like tonight, it was like basically almost 10 o'clock by the time they were in bed. And then I still had to go back downstairs, and I am not a good housekeeper, so I'm not gonna lie and say I like straightened up a little bit, but a lot or anything. But I did like, load the dishwasher, make sure this he had what he needed in his book bag, make sure I had what I needed in my bags to go to work, for in the morning, and put clothes in the washing machine, feed the cats, um, and then I had to look at my budget and pay some bills tonight. Um, Somebody said oil up auntie. No, thank you. I just got out the shower, so I don't have any moisturizer on my face or anything. But that's fine. Um, so it's just a lot go go go, and by the time they go to bed, it's like I should really go to bed, but I need time for myself. So I end up staying up too late. So that's still an ongoing struggle. Um, So that's the bad, the good, the bad, the ugly. So, oh my gosh, this morning was crazy. So I see some really crazy comments in here. I'm gonna give me a minute so I can report and remove some of these folks. Um, for harassment report. Okay, wow, people are crazy. So I see that this is not the best time to come on here at night. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back through these comments and block a lot of these folks. But anyway, um, the the ugly, the ugly this morning was this morning. But I have to preface it to say that things at work have been a lot better than they have been in a long time, which means even though this morning um was crazy, what I'm about to tell y'all, I handled it so well. Like I was not even like over the top upset. Like I was frustrated in the moment, but like I quickly, you know, came back to like um a normal mood. Like I wasn't, I didn't hold on to it. So the mornings are challenging, right? Like, the little people, they don't want to get up. Little sister's 2 now. She wakes up angry most of the time if I have to wake her up. Just mostly it's just because she's hungry, and she's hungry, but she's 2, so she doesn't have the wherewithal to know like, oh, I'm just like hangry. So I'll be like, why don't you have your muffins? And she'll be like, no, you know. So like I said, she woke up dry this morning. So I was like, yeah, you're dry, but I was like, okay, let's go sit on the potty. And she was like, no. She refused to go to the potty this morning. So the whole morning while I'm getting ready, baby Joy Chaser, her big brother, is getting ready, or BJC, I'm calling him now because he's not a baby anymore. she is still refusing to go potty. And like, come on, we all know how it works. When you wake up in the morning, you have to go to the bathroom. Like that's just everybody. So she would not. Um, but big brother BJC, he got dressed like really nicely this morning and fast, and he was playing with a box, like an empty box that the little bites muffins come in, like if you get it from BJ's, so or Costco or something. So it's a pretty decent sized box, but it was empty and lightweight. And for whatever reason, he was throwing this box in the air and like catching it and like throwing it and like hitting it. And had been telling him like stop, put that down, and he was ignoring me, just doing his thing. And I don't know what possessed him. The sister is already cranky, and we're all basically dressed. We're about a couple minutes from heading out the door, and we're upstairs. And I don't know what possessed him to throw this box in the air, and then like he threw it up like this, and then he hit it with the palm of his hand, so it went forward instead of up, and went smack right into little sister's face. So the box is not big and it's empty, so it didn't really hurt, but it stunned her and she was so upset. And then he's trying to apologize and she doesn't want his apology. He's trying to give her a hug, she doesn't want it. She's like hysterically crying. He's feeling bad. I'm chastising him a little bit, saying like, why would you do that? If you, and I'm not really yelling, but definitely chastising him. And I'm like, if you would have listened when I said to leave it alone, if that wouldn't have happened. No, the corner didn't hit her. Like it hit her flat. Like it really didn't. I think it more so stunned her, scared her than anything else. So she's crying. So I'm like, just get ready, finish getting ready. So he goes in his room to finish getting ready. So I'm comforting her, consoling her. And then I'm like, okay, she still needs to go to the bathroom because if I can get her to pee on a potty, that means that her diaper will be dry when we get to daycare, which means I can drop her off quickly and get to the office closer to being on time. So I want her to go to the bathroom and she is refusing. So I said, okay, well, mommy has to go. So come on, let's go together, right? So we go in, and her potty is in my bathroom anyway. So I go in, so I'm using the restroom. I'm trying to convince her to sit on her potty. She's still refusing. And while this is going on, and I mean, I'm like literally sitting there, pants down, whatever, and all of a sudden the house alarm goes off. And then I hear my son screaming. Now she's screaming. So now I have to jump up in the middle of my business, right? And run downstairs, kind of pull my clothes up all the way. But I don't want to pull up too much because I don't have time to, like, you know, properly wipe and all that because the alarm's going off and I don't want the police being dispatched. So, and I have to go all the way downstairs. So I'm running down. Sister's freaked out more because now not only is the loud alarm, but mom is racing out of the room. So I get the alarm off and I'm saying to him, what are you doing? And he's like, I thought y'all left. So he didn't see that we went in the bathroom. So he thought we were out in the car. And I have to admit, when he's been really slow in the morning, I have threatened to I haven't really threatened to leave without him. Normally my threat is, if you don't hurry up, I'm going to take you to school in PJs and you'll have to get dressed in front of your friends, which has never happened, but that's normally my threat. But we have like going out to the car, but I always say, we're going out, just come out. So for whatever reason, he didn't know that we went in the bathroom, so he thought we left. So he opened the door, so the alarm's going crazy. So get that settled. As soon as you turn the alarm off, now my phone is going crazy because the alarm people call you to confirm that everything's okay. So now I'm racing for the phone. So it's just super hectic, right? So get all that squared away. Little sister still does not go to potty after all that. So then we get downstairs and it's the weather, the weather's starting to change. I'm in Philly. So, we definitely get a winter up here. So the temperature's starting to be a lot cooler in the morning, and today was going to be cooler. So I had told my son, help your sister with her jacket. So he's helping her. or he's about to help her, but then he's like, "Well, where's the jacket?" And then I said, "Oh, here's one." This, and then I pull out the one I want her to wear because it's cooler than yesterday. At the same time that I'm pulling that out, he picks up the jacket she had on yesterday, which is more like a windbreaker versus when I had it was like a little bit quilted. And so now we both have jackets so in our hands. So to him, it's a game of who can convince her to wear what jacket. And I'm like, "Here, put your jacket on." And then he's like, "Don't you want to wear this one?" And so I get mad instantly because I'm like, you know, don't, um, I want to say contradict me, but that's not the word I mean. But basically, don't tell her to do the opposite of what I'm telling her to do. If I've already given her an instruction, don't give her another instruction. You're going to confuse her and get her in trouble. And so I chastised him on this. And then I think it was just like too much for him because he got so upset. And he like threw the jacket down and pouted and went and sat by himself. And I really did feel bad because between hitting her with the box, which was an accident, but he got in trouble, then setting off the alarm, and now he's get chastised again. It really was like a rough morning for him. Yes, Matthew, it is always a game with kids, right? And the part of the parent is teaching them when it's okay to play and when it's not okay to play. And they don't know, they have to learn it, so you have to teach them, so they're always going to do things, at the wrong time. So that had to be the ugly, but it was definitely um quite I was definitely quite frazzled, but I basically, was okay. If this would have been maybe even a month ago when I was under, like, I've had a good like 2 to 3 weeks at work, which is, I'm almost scared to say it because work had been so super stressful and intense for like well over like a year that these last couple of weeks have felt like a breath of fresh air in a way. So the fact that I wasn't already like, stressed to the max, his mistakes this morning didn't like really get me in a bad mood or anything. And I actually felt bad for him. So then we go out. So then with his jacket, I'm like, "You probably need a warmer jacket too." I'm like, "You can wear the jacket that he wore, the day before." And first he was like, "No." Then he was like, "Yes." Then he was like, "No." So then we walk out, lock the door. I'm getting him buckled in the car. And then he's like, "It is cold." So now he don't even have the right jacket. So I said, "Well, do you want the other jacket?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Okay." And so I went and got it for him. And I tried to be super pleasant on the ride. I have a lot of teachers in my family and my friend groups. And so I've heard, commentary about parents try to not get in fights with your kids in the morning, even though it's hard, and nobody intentionally gets in fights, but like it makes the kids just have a harder day at school as well. And that's not my intent. So I was like, okay. So I was like, let me try to lighten things. And so we had a nice car ride and all that and everything. He was in a good mood by the time he got out the car. So, but that was like the ugly, like it was just a crazy, right after the other, these things, the box, the alarm, it was wild. Running through the house, half dressed. Um, what would I say my parenting style is? I I would say I haven't adapted a like one parenting style and like this is my go-to. I read some parenting stuff in some different mom groups and I try to take what works for me. But I definitely lean more toward the gentle kind of parenting or conscious parenting. Um, but not necessarily permissive. Like we have rules, there's our standards, there are consequences. Um, but I'm not like authoritative. Like my kids are allowed to ask questions. I am trying to teach him about tone and ways to do it respectfully. But they're allowed to ask like why or and they're allowed to express their feelings. Um, and then one book that I read or listened to the audio was Hunter Gather Parenting, and I liked a lot of that. Though some of it doesn't apply because um, really, how that saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Really, a lot of the parenting issues I think a lot of people have, including myself, is we just don't have enough support, and we get burnt out, we get overstimulated, and our kids get burnt out and overstimulated, and we get sick of each other. And in the olden days, whenever you had more of a village, so if you got burnt out, you could like tap in a aunt, a grandmother, a neighbor. You had multi generations living in one house, and you could go somewhere and get a break and gather yourself. And that's just not the reality for me or most people. So when you're burnt out, you're just burnt out, and the kids see you burnt out, and um, that's just a fact. But that particular book, Hunter Gatherer Parenting, I thought was good. So I adapt some things from there. And then I adapt some things from how I was raised. And then I've left some things out from how I was raised. I think I did a whole video on that. Some things that I was doing different than my parents. But anyway, so that was the ugly, right? Of the week. So, and I'll leave the best for last. So the best thing that happened this week. So I did a video about a year and a half ago, and where when my daughter, we did her dedication at church, and we actually joined the church as a family. And I talked a little bit about the spiritual journey that I've kind of been on, and that's still going. I would say, my faith is growing, blossoming nicely. I've always been a faithful person, so this isn't necessarily new, but definitely part of my life that is growing and expanding in a good way, which is also why I haven't done some content, because I'm not sure how that's all gonna look. But anyway, all that's to say, so we're regular churchgoers now. That was not the case when I started my whole. That wasn't the case for pretty much my whole adult life. So we're regular churchgoers now, and my kids, they really love our church. They have friends there. I'm making friends there. It's a really good thing. So the best part, well, let me share a little bit more background. So our church does, a whole service, right? That's like a couple hours. It's like a welcome, they're singing, and then they do a children's offering where they collect money for the school that is associated with our church. My kids don't go to that school, but we collect money for those children's education. And then there's a children's story. And then after the children's story, so the children's story, they invite the children to come up to the front, and it's like a little mini sermon that's targeted towards them, and they can be engaged and actually like talk to the person who's talking to them. And then they'll do a regular offering, which is just like, they pass the plates. Most people, I think, do that stuff online these days, so I don't know how much, but it's still something they do as part of the service. And I give my kids like $1 each to put in, because I I don't want to say pay, but I contribute to the church online, like most of us do our online banking and all that stuff. So, but I give them each $1 to put in the plate. They like that. And then after that, there's the regular sermon, right? So we have made a deal, because they are 2 and 6, and so they cannot sit still and pay attention through all that stuff. Son is getting better, daughter's getting worse. She's fully embraced these terrible twos. So we made this deal where if they kind of behave, like, I'm not expecting perfection. If they kind of behave, through the beginning and all the way through the children's story. And if my son will go up for the children's story, and I go with them, I don't leave them, I don't sit in the back, I walk up with them. And if he'll pay attention to the children's story, that after they do the regular offering, we will leave the sanctuary and go to like a little playroom where some toys, and then they can play and I'll watch the rest of the sermon like on the TV monitor. So that's our deal. We've had that deal for about a few, like 3-4 weeks, and it's working well. So this last week, um, we go up for the children's story, and my son is actually participating. They were talking about Daniel. Um, and you can like look up people, a lot of churches will do a Daniel fast. So you can Google the story of Daniel and like healthy eating. And you can research that for yourself if you want. But that's what they were talking about for the children's story. So they're asking him, what's your favorite healthy food? And he's answering questions. And I was like, oh, so proud of him. So that was nice. And then at the end of the children's story, yes, Daniel in the lion's den. Exactly. That same Daniel. Um, so look up if you don't know, but look up about him in like healthy eating. So at the end of the children's story, they'll ask the children, does anyone want to pray? And there's the usual suspects who always like to pray. And then my son volunteered and he gave the most beautiful prayer. It was very short, but he prayed for that people who didn't have a place to live would find a place to live, and that everyone would have friends and family and no one would be alone. And it was just so beautiful, and I was so proud of him. So, and it was very thoughtful, and it was not anything that I told him because I wasn't even expecting him to get up there and pray or anything. No, they don't have the kids fast. Churches will do a Daniel fast, like where the congregations will fast, or individuals will do a Daniel fast. Like you can just look it up, but no, they were just talking about the importance of healthy eating and relating it to Daniel and how he was eating healthy in the Bible story. So yeah, but it was so nice. So that was definitely the best thing that happened this week. Um, and our service is on YouTube, so I did like capture a screen grab later of just of the prayer. So I might share it, but I'm not sharing it here right now through this live. So, but anyway, I'm gonna hop off here now because I've already been long-winded and talked more than I wanted. Thank you for those who were commenting and not being disrespectful and being kind and engaging. Thank you for that, Matthew. And there was someone else. Anyway, I can't scroll back. There were so many crazy comments in the beginning, but thank you guys for engaging. And I hope to hop on every week if I can and just give the good, the bad, the ugly, and the best of the week. And hopefully it won't be this late because I'm seeing that the element on here is a little iffy this time of night. But anyway, have a great weekend. Bye.